Welcome back to Drama Corner. Today, we're diving deeper into the captivating world of A Faint Heart by Fyodor Dostoyevsky, a narrative of love's trials and human vulnerability in this thrilling part 2. So, buckle up for more twists, turns, and emotional revelations. We shall be poor, of course, but we shall be happy. And you know, it is not a wild fancy. Our happiness is not a fairy tale. We shall be happy in reality. Vasya, listen. What? Said Vasya, standing before Arkady Ivanovich. The idea occurs to me. I am really afraid to say it to you. Forgive me and settle my doubts. What are you going to live on? You know I am delighted that you are going to be married, of course. I am delighted. And I don't know what to do with myself, but what are you going to live on, eh? Oh, good heavens. What a fellow you are, Arkasha, said Vasya, looking at Nevedovich in profound astonishment. What do you mean? Even her old mother, even she did not think of that for 2 minutes when I put it all clearly before her. You had better ask what they are living on. They have 500 rubles a year between the three of them, the pension, which is all they have since the father died. She and her old mother and her little brother, whose schooling is paid for out of that income too. That is how they live. It's you and I are the capitalists. Some good years, it works out to as much as 700 for me. I say, Vasya, excuse me. I really, I am only thinking how to prevent things going wrong. How do you mean, 700? It's only 300. 300. And Yulian Mastakovich? Have you forgotten him? Yulian Mastakovich? But you know that's uncertain, brother. That's not the same thing as 300 rubles of secure salary, where every ruble is a friend you can trust. Yulian Mastakovich, of course. He's a great man, in fact. I respect him. I understand him, though he is so far above us. And by Jove, I love him, because he likes you and gives you something for your work, though he might not pay you, but simply order a clerk to work for him. But you will agree, Vasya. Let me tell you too, I am not talking nonsense. I admit, in all Petersburg, you won't find a handwriting like your handwriting. I am ready to allow that to you, Nevedovich concluded, not without enthusiasm. But God forbid. You may displease him all at once. You may not satisfy him. Your work with him may stop. He may take another clerk. All sorts of things may happen, in fact. You know, Yulian Mastakovich may be here today and gone tomorrow. Well, Arkasha, the ceiling might fall on our heads this minute. Oh, of course, I mean nothing. But listen, hear what I have got to say. I don't see how he can part with me. No, hear what I have to say. Hear what I have to say. You see, I perform all my duties punctually. You know how kind he is, Arkasha. He gave me 50 rubles in silver today. Did he really, Vasya? A bonus for you? Bonus indeed. It was out of his own pocket. He said, "Why? You have had no money for 5 months, brother. Take some if you want it. Thank you. I am satisfied with you." Yes, really. Yes, you don't work for me for nothing, said he. He did, indeed. That's what he said. It brought tears into my eyes, Arkasha. Good heavens, yes. I say, Vasya, have you finished copying those papers? No, I haven't finished them yet. Vas. Yeah, my angel. What have you been doing? Listen, Arkasha, it doesn't matter. They are not wanted for another 2 days. I have time enough. How is it you have not done them? That's all right. That's all right. You look so horror-stricken that you turn me inside out and make my heart ache. You are always going on at me like this. He's forever crying out, "Oh, oh, oh." Only consider, what does it matter? Why, I shall finish it. Of course I shall finish it. What if you don't finish it? Cried Arkady, jumping up. And he has made you a present today. And you going to be married? Toot, toot, toot. It's all right, cried Shumkov. I shall sit down directly. I shall sit down this minute. How did you come to leave it, Vasya? Oh, Arkasha, how could I sit down to work? Have I been in a fit state? Why, even at the office I could scarcely sit still. I could scarcely bear the beating of my heart. Oh. Now I shall work all night, and I shall work all tomorrow night, and the night after too, and I shall finish it. Is there a great deal left? Don't hinder me, for goodness sake. Don't hinder me. Hold your tongue. Arkady Ivanovich went on tiptoe to the bed and sat down. Then suddenly wanted to get up, but was obliged to sit down again, remembering that he might interrupt him, though he could not sit still for excitement. It was evident that the news had thoroughly upset him, and the first thrill of delight had not yet passed off. He glanced at Shumkov. The latter glanced at him, smiled, and shook his finger at him. Then, frowning severely, as though all his energy and the success of his work depended upon it, fixed his eyes on the papers. It seemed that he, too, could not yet master his emotion. He kept changing his pen, fidgeting in his chair, rearranging things, and setting to work again, but his hand trembled and refused to move. Arkasha, I've talked to them about you, he cried suddenly, as though he had just remembered it. Yes, cried Arkasha. I was just wanting to ask you that. Well, I'll tell you everything afterwards. Of course, it is my own fault, but it quite went out of my head that I didn't mean to say anything till I had written 4 pages. But I thought of you and of them. I really can't write, brother. I keep thinking about you. Vasya smiled. A silence followed. Phew, what a horrid pen, cried Shumkov, flinging it on the table in vexation. He took another. Vasya, listen, 1 word. Well, make haste, and for the last time. Have you a great deal left to do? Ah, brother. Vasya frowned, as though there could be nothing more terrible and murderous in the whole world than such a question. A lot, a fearful lot. Do you know, I have an idea. What? Oh, never mind. Go on writing. Why? What? It's past 6, Vasya. Here Nefedovitch smiled and winked slyly at Vasya, though with a certain timidity, not knowing how Vasya would take it. Well, what is it? Said Vasya, throwing down his pen, looking him straight in the face, and actually turning pale with excitement. Do you know what? For goodness sake, what is it? I tell you what, you are excited. You won't get much done. Stop. I have it. Listen, said Nefedovitch, jumping up from the bed in delight, preventing Vasya from speaking and doing his utmost to ward off all objections. First of all, you must get calm. You must pull yourself together, mustn't you? Arkasha, cried Vasya, jumping up from his chair. I will work all night. I will, really. Of course. You won't go to bed till morning. I won't go to bed. I won't go to bed at all. No, that won't do. You must sleep. Go to bed at 5. I will call you at 8. Tomorrow is a holiday. You can sit and scribble away all day long. Then the night end. But have you a great deal left to do? Yes, look. Vasya, quivering with excitement and suspense, showed the manuscript. Look. I say, brother, that's not much. My dear fellow, there's some more of it, said Vasya, looking very timidly at Nefedovich, as though the decision whether he was to go or not depended upon the latter. How much? 2 signatures. Well, what's that? Come, I tell you what. We shall have time to finish it, by Jove. We shall. Arkasha. Vasya, listen. Tonight, on New Year's Eve, everyone is at home with his family. You and I are the only ones without a home or relations. Oh, Vasya. Nefedovich clutched Vasya and hugged him in his leonine arms. Arkasha, it's settled. Vasya, boy, I only wanted to say this. You see, Vasya, listen, bandy legs, listen. Arkady stopped, with his mouth open, because he could not speak for delight. Vasya held him by the shoulders, gazed into his face, and moved his lips, as though he wanted to speak for him. Well, he brought out at last, introduce me to them today. Arkady, let us go to tea there. I tell you what. We won't even stay to see in the new year. We'll come away earlier, cried Vasya, with genuine inspiration. That is, we'll go for 2 hours, neither more nor less. And then, separation till I have finished. Vasya, boy. Arkady. 3 minutes later, Arkady was dressed in his best. Vasya did nothing but brush himself, because he had been in such haste to work that he had not changed his trousers. They hurried out into the street, each more pleased than the other. Their way lay from the Petersburg side to Kolomna. Arkady Ivanovich stepped out boldly and vigorously, so that from his walk alone, one could see how glad he was at the good fortune of his friend, who was more and more radiant with happiness. Vasya trotted along with shorter steps, though his deportment was nonetheless dignified. Arkady Ivanovich, in fact, had never seen him before to such advantage. At that moment, he actually felt more respect for him, and Vasya's physical defect, of which the reader is not yet aware. Vasya was slightly deformed, which always called forth a feeling of loving sympathy in Arkady Ivanovich's kind heart, contributed to the deep tenderness the latter felt for him at this moment, a tenderness of which Vasya was in every way worthy. Arkady Ivanovich felt ready to weep with happiness, but he restrained himself. Where are you going? Where are you going, Vasya? It is nearer this way, he cried, seeing that Vasya was making in the direction of Voznesenky. Thanks for watching A Faint Heart Part 2 on Drama Corner. If you liked this episode, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Don't miss out on A Faint Heart Part 3. Hit the notification bell to stay updated. See you in the next episode.